Ultimately, saying that you don't care about privacy because you have nothing to hide is no different from saying that you don't care about freedom of speech because you have nothing to say. Edward Snowden is thought by many to be a traitor, and by many more hailed as a hero, with very little in between. What could cause such a drastic difference in opinion? Edward Snowden was born to Lonnie and Wendy Snowden on June 21st, 1983. His parents worked for the government and later moved to the outskirts of Washington, D.C. One day, when Snowden was 12, his father brought home a computer, which quickly became an obsession for Edward. The conventional child these days spends their days on the computer playing games and chatting amongst their friends. And while these were an element of his time on the computer, the majority of it was used developing the brain of an emerging genius. This obsession led to a deep love and knowledge of coding and hacking, something that Snowden did with an amazing prowess. Not long after his father brought home the computer, he had discovered a flaw in the website of a nuclear research facility, which he in turn hacked and reported back to them. However, in spite of his intelligence, the attacks on 9/11 drove Snowden to attend Army basic training, and so begins one of the greatest true stories in our nation's recent history. This book, a memoir written by Snowden himself, is structured as an autobiography. However, it's also a scathing criticism of the American government and a fierce condemnation of the idea that privacy is irrelevant to those who have, quote, nothing to hide, which ties in closely with the book's theme of you never know the value of privacy until you no longer have it. If you are aware of the actions of Edward Snowden and think he is a patriot, you should read this book. If you are not aware or think he's a traitor, you need to read this book. While it may not convince you that his actions were good or ethical, it will at least give you an idea of who he really was and why he did what he did.